Hi guys, and welcome to another episode. Today we're here at Gunnar's Hold, and there's lots of stuff to do here. So this is like really one of the, I think it's the oldest Norn settlement around here. Let's actually read the description. The armourer Gunnar Poundfist claims current ownership over this massive hearthstead, the longest occupied of all Norn settlements. The Great Hold has changed names numerous times over the years, controlled and claimed by many powerful Norn. Gunnar is a notable smith, a profession that earns great respect within the Norn community, enough so that Poundfist's claim over Gunnar's Hold has stood for quite some time, as most other Norn are wary of losing his goodwill. So what's quite cool actually, you see how he's a smith. I guess this means he doesn't fight very much. We actually learned recently in Guild Wars 2 news that the Norn live for like hundreds of years. I think they easily live over 100 years, but the truth is, because some of them love to fight and they love the glory of the battle and they're barbarians really, a lot of them never make it to that because they find there's a lot more honour in dying fighting. Also, she's got an awesome hat. So yeah, I guess Gunnar's quite old. I guess the leaders of this place kind of do less fighting and sort of lord over it for hundreds of years at a time. Anyway, so yeah, there's lots of stuff to do here. Namely, there's a few quests. One's the big tournament I talked about in the last episode, and the other quests, which are what I'm going to show you right now, are to do with this guy here, Kilroy Stonekin. And yes, if you guys watch those Sorry's Furnace episodes, like I said, a lot of the characters come back. If you remember, they were talking about a great destroyer, High Priest Alcar was, and the great dwarf and stuff like that. Those kind of storylines, those things that Arenanet were talking about all that time ago, come back now. So they are interesting episodes if you haven't seen them. But yeah, so we'll speak to him soon. He's kind of got this cool brawling thing. There's lots of references to real world boxing and stuff going on there. But there's some other stuff I can show you around. So we get lots of Norn who will craft us stuff, but they don't quite like us enough just yet because our reputation isn't high enough. So let's speak to this guy with his big beard.
Who sent you?
Well, if it isn't Tom Bluewood, we've heard tales of your adventures, traveller, but they are short fiction compared to the epic deeds of the Norn. If you want my help, then you must prove your strength by becoming a slayer of worms. Short fiction? I defeated Shiro, damn it. Okay, alright, well, that's what they all say.
Never anger.
As you can see, and also they're saying like never anger a Norn. They're all a little bit pissed off with us. What they say to us actually changes as we continue through the story, which is pretty cool as we increase our reputation. There's also an Asura here called Fonk. What is he doing?
You need me?
So he's a polymorph expert. He says, aside from the Grandmaster himself, I'm the world's greatest polymorph player. I laugh in your face. Haha, see? Laughter. Do you dare challenge me? Okay. You need to acquire your started polymorph pieces in Ratta soon before we can play. There is a gate to the region in the Vloxen excavations west of here. When you get there, say hi to Hoth. He's the master of polymorph. Okay, so there's this game, polymorph. Don't know enough about it just yet to play it, but we'll see lots of people who want to play it. It's a pretty cool mini game. Something I'm hoping that we've still not had word of it yet in Guild Wars 2, but I'm hoping it comes back, and I'm hoping in it's kind of the way they originally imagined it. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. So there's lots of like material traders around here. There's also this giant place over here with this bridge, and something cool to mention about this bridge actually. When Eye of the North first came out, if you looked inside the bridge, if you like went over to it and zoomed the camera in like this, you could see it inside it, right? And when Eye of the North first came out, at some point, I'm not entirely sure of where specifically it was possibly inside one of these, there was a naked man. Yeah, a naked man, honestly, just exactly as it sounds. And that's because when Arenanet developed the game, they put, well, with at least Guild Wars 1, they put these like naked men markers on the maps to show like unfinished areas, and one of this marker just happened to have been left in the game. So obviously he had the anatomy of like a Barbie or a Ken doll basically, but yeah, you could actually come here and see a naked man, which is pretty cool. Apparently it happened as well at Buckdeck Byway in Factions, but yeah, so that's the little bit of interesting trivia about that bridge. But over here on top of this big hill we can meet Gunnar himself. Pretty cool, this thing. We can't actually go inside the building behind him. Oh, we can look inside it though. I've never actually looked in these things. So as we know in Guild Wars 2, the Norn build massive buildings. Obviously you can't go indoors in the first game, but you can in the second one. So these are the kind of structures. They look cool, don't they? These are the kind of things we'll be exploring later. I guess that's a door. Anyway, right, so let's speak to the man himself and learn a little bit more about the Norn and this place.
Are you hunting something?
Not quite. Matt's hunting the Norn bear, but we're not. He says, welcome, young one. Have you come to hear the tales of the founding of Gunnar's Hold and the legends of my family? Or maybe you seek my smithing skill. Okay, so Gunnar, what can you tell me about the Norn? He says the Norn are a proud, independent people who have roamed these mountains for centuries, settling where we choose, hunting where we can, slaying when we must. We value individual power and self-reliance above all else. The Norn make their names in this world through deeds. We are known by our actions, by our conquests. So yeah, do pay attention to this, obviously, because I think this is the most information we really get about the Norn in one sitting. When faced with strangers, most Norn will battle first to determine the worth of a potential ally or adversary. But while our battle fury burns hot, it passes quickly. The Norn who grounds your face into the snow in the morning will likely toast you with ale in the tavern at noon meal. Such is the Norn way. So I love this about them. They're like really quick to anger, but also like really quick to be your friend. It's pretty awesome. I took this stead as a young Norn and have watched it grow over time. I made my name with bare-handed work both at the anvil and in the wilds. I earned my prestige as a smith by forging the finest weapons in the north from rare and mystic metals. With my passing, one of my children may run the stead, or another hero will come forward, and the hold will change names. I have left behind my name and my legends to inspire my people. This is also the Norn way. So again, yeah, the Norn they don't care about dying, they just need to leave an impact on the planet. They need to have a legend, they need people to sing their name in songs and things. That's what they live for, rather than anything else. So can you tell me where to find the other powerful Norn? Okay, so Sif Shadowhunter is a great tracker who lives north of Drakar Lake in Sifara. Olaf Olafsson watches over Raven's Point from his stead in the centre of Varajar Fells. Egil Fireteller is a wise elder who lives as a hermit in Jagged Moraine. So again, like this guy lives as a hermit. A lot of Norn love to travel, which is another big thing about the Norn. So I mean, if you guys are interested in playing Norn in Guild Wars 2, really, I mean, this is what's teaching you about them right here. We've actually met, obviously, Olaf, and I think Sif we met as well. They were the people sort of heckling Jorah when we first met her just outside of Boreal Station. Okay, so he also offers to smith stuff for us. He says there's no greater metal worker than a Norn, and no stronger armour than that forged by Deldrimor alloys. He says he learned the dwarven secrets of working Deldrimor metals from Master Armourer Kor. Now, he may have showed me the trick to working dwarven metals, but I can smith rings around that tiny little beard of his. Bring me Deldrimor armour remnants, and I can upgrade the armour of one of your heroes. Okay, so we don't have any of these remnants yet, and indeed we won't get them for a very, very long time. But it's nice to know about this. So, like, the dwarves in this game are quite typical dwarves, and obviously they're very good with armor and stuff, but so are the Norn, and I like how they kind of have them both working together on the armor inside like that. Speaking of the dwarves, let's go find Kilroy. There's obviously the other tournament, which I'll talk about again at the end or at the end of the episode. But these episodes are quite cool. They're repeatable. These quests, a lot of people will be familiar with. People use it for their Survivor title. It's very slow and kind of nerve-wracking in case you disconnect and stuff. But that's the way people play the game. Let's speak to Kodan, who's the Dwarven Recruitment Officer.
Hail, human.
He's going to teach us. Actually, let's learn about the dwarves afterwards. Okay. Let's speak to Kilroy first.
What news of the war?
Okay, so this is a solo quest. Alright, Vec, we'll see you later. We will go with you to the gate, but later. So he says, I've been training with these Norn to learn the ways of the brass knuckle brawling. I gotta say, them big fellas can fight. To them, you're nothing but a clown. But I'll teach you what I've learned so you can jump in the ring and tangle with the best of them. Here, take these brass knuckles and crack a few skulls. It's good for the constitution. So again, you get how the dwarves and Norn kind of work together. Right, so excuse me while I line up my knuckles. Quest added, punch the clown. Okay, again, do you remember like a lot of quest names, as they have been in the other campaigns, are references to loads of stuff, and I think some of the quest names for this chain here are references to like to real life boxing games, which is pretty cool.
Hail, human.
Okay, so let's fight. Are you ready to rumble? Yes, it's go time. So Kilroy's Punchout training. We get a whole new skill bar. It's pretty cool. Let's learn what's going on. So we get a block skill, which means we can block the next person. We get a jab. Oh god. Oh yeah, we need to equip our brass knuckles, these things here. We get a straight right attack. If it hits, it interrupts people. We get this, which costs adrenaline, which is just a bigger hit. And this, which is a massive hit, but costs loads of adrenaline. Okay, so what happens here is you can't take damage unless they use skills, and I think they have the exact same skills as you. So it's actually quite a cool dynamic, but I mean, it's not like something that you really see in PvP. So there, can you see I was trying to use my big attack, but he interrupted me, which was very good of him, really. You can see I'm dying. There's no way to replenish your health, except if you die, you can try and stand back up, just like in real boxing, and when you kill people, you get a buttload of health. So we got to kill all of these brawlers. Here's the next one. And they don't just turn on one at a time. I think you have to fight 2 at once and then 3 at once. I've seen babies put up a better fight. Yeah, alright. Bring it on. So there's the big hit. You can see you can really smash them out. I haven't done this for ages, so obviously I'm not very good. It's quite good because it's easy to pick up and start learning, but you know, it is one of those things that's difficult to master, which is pretty cool. And as you'll see here, now we have to fight 2 at once, which proves troublesome. You hit like a teddy bear. Yes, thank you very much. So, really, you just want to kill as quickly as possible. I don't know, I can't really offer much advice. As I say, I haven't done this for ages. I mean, ages, like years. But it's cool. It's a cool little game type. And I mentioned polymorph earlier as well. That's something else, like a cool little mini game that I think had a lot of PvP potential. Well, kind of. There are obviously flaws with both these things, but we never really saw it with either North. I mean, with the other, when factions came out, and now we're fighting 3 at once, as you can see. When factions came out, they added a whole new brand of PvP. The Alliance battle. When Nightfall came out, they added hero battles, which again has been actually dropped from the game now. But you know, and when Either North came out, I feel like maybe they could have added something as well, but they didn't really. Just maybe some new maps for the PvP environments. But yeah. Okay, so that's 2 down. Obviously, if you do lose your health, you use this skill here, stand up. Pretty much you have to spam it and it gets harder, and you got to get all your energy back up. It's really quite a cool mechanic. And the more times you die, the higher your max energy goes, which means it's harder to stand up. Very fun. Anyway, so we beat him. That's the first one. Punch the Clown updated. We're actually in the arena that we'll be fighting in the massive tournament that's going to dominate the next few episodes. But yeah, so back out into Gunnar's hold. And let's go get our reward from Kilroy.
Hail, human.
So, you showed them Norn a whipping good time, eh? Yeah, you did. Kilroy, proud. Cool. So you get Dwarven reputation points as well. You get reputation with all the races. We unlocked a skill. Yeah, so you can actually unlock these skills for regular use, which is pretty cool. Okay, so he says, now that your knuckles are dirty, it's time to put those skills to good use. Fronis Irontoe, the brother of a particular stone summit I loathe, has set up a camp nearby. He's commanding a pack of no-good filthy fighters. Take a whiff, can you smell them? Let's give our fists a workout. Those stone summit hooligans we'll never forget. Okay, so we're fighting the stone summit again, the long-time enemies of the Dwarves. The Dwarves are in a civil war, of course. Okay, so this is Kilroy Stonekin's Punchout Extravaganza. Pretty sure that's a reference to a Nintendo game. The original Nintendo. I'm not sure though, but I think it is.
You need me.
Anyway, so we'll be removed from our party to join Kilroy in a brass-knuckled assault on Fronis Irontoe's Lair. Let's do it. So yeah, Fronis is actually the brother of a guy we were fighting way back in the Sorry's Furnace episodes. It's all just very cool how the characters come back. So remember to equip your brass knuckles to use the brawling skills. So we get an area map. Which we can look at here. So we got different gates. Kilroy says, I haven't seen Fronis in a long time. I can't wait to introduce him to my friends. Would that be lefty and righty? I'd assume so. So, holy frozen beards, that's Kilroy Stonekin. So, one cool thing about Kilroy Stonekin, okay, he's based off of Leroy Jenkins from, as I mentioned in the Sorry's Furnace episodes. And he uses a shout on you, which makes you move ridiculously fast, activates skills very fast. It's very cool, but he's very cavalier. He charges in at places when he shouldn't really, and you've just got to be careful of him. We've also got another skill here, which knocks people down, as you can see. Again, I haven't done this for so long. I really should. I don't know sort of what the best things to do are or not. If you get dazed in this, it means you can't block, which is another nice little touch. But yeah, there's just generally Etins. We haven't seen Etins for ages, have we? Not enslaved ones anyway. So they're the big guys. They hit a lot. Those guys are running off, so we'll ignore them for now. So yeah, look at that. He does. The Etins are cool because they do a lot of damage to you, and with just the one attack. So if you can wait for it and try and predict when it's coming, you can actually block it. Of course, if you're not dazed, which is very, very cool. So I guess a good idea would be to always fight the same things that Kilroy is. What does he have to say to us? The Stone Summit are nothing but a bunch of filthy cowards, and many of them still owe me money. You want to break some skulls? Okay. So yeah, as I said, because you don't actually die when you fall over on this, and you can just use stand up to get back up. This is why people like it for Survivor title. It takes a long time. They use like experience scrolls to speed it up. It still takes a long time, but it's very safe. There are more risky ways which get you so much more experience, which I would recommend definitely. In fact, I'll point them out later. But yeah, this is what most people do. Anyway, okay, so they got stone walls here, which are pretty much just black walls, which are available as pets later on. Let's just keep going. So people do other things, obviously, like they go /assassin, which means that they can double strike with their daggers by putting dagger mastery up. There's all kinds of little tips. I mean, there's lots of guides. I'm not going to go into sort of guides on how people do it, but if you do play and you're not aware of this, do check it out. It's pretty cool. It's good for money as well. They say that if you know these things, because we're the only person in the party. I should have turned my party window off. Sorry. Because we're the only people in the party, we get a very high drop rate, which means that we're actually fighting, you know, level 20 enemies, which again means more experience and nice drops. They say that if you identify everything and pick everything up and sell it all to a merchant after every run, it's like 2 to 3k, and you're going to see it's not a very long mission, which is good. I mean, like I've mentioned it before a few times in the Let's Play. I'm not sure in either North, but as Arenanet went on, they realised that the more fun missions were the kind of short ones. Not everybody has 40-50 minutes to do every mission, and that's what it was like in Prophecies. But no, in Eye of the North, they're generally a lot shorter, a lot more intense. I mean, it's so nice. You didn't see stuff like this in the other campaigns, and then all these little mini games they added is all because. Oh yeah, there's a locked chest there as well. People chest run here for their treasure hunter title. It's all because it's a smaller thing, but they've added so much more detail to every place. It's great. Okay, so Kilroy's not actually fighting with me right now, which is probably a good thing. Let him get his health back. You might not know, a bit for those of you who have done this, if they do regular attacks, you don't take damage. You only take damage when they use skills on you. But Kilroy takes damage from all attacks, which is why, if you've ever wondered why he's dying, that's why. It's because he just takes damage from everything. So generally try and keep ahead. Oh, it's not supposed to be a guide, but you know, it's so easy to talk about the mechanics here. But yeah, it's very cool. It's nice, of course, the Stone Summit, they're back in the plot here. As you can see, they've already been introduced. It's not just for this quest chain. There's big stuff with the Stone Summit going on. In fact, the whole Dwarven race, there's massive things. Like, you could say, you know, Prophecies was a pretty bog standard experience. There wasn't there wasn't massive kind of planet-wide changes going on. Factions, yeah, kind of there was, because we were reversing the effects of the Jade Wind, essentially, which has changed 2 massive regions. Nightfall, there was massive events. Obviously, we saw a new god come into power, and there's another massive event to do with the Dwarves in Eye of the North. So, yeah, they're a very big component of it. Eye of the North introduced all these characters and plots and stuff to do with the Guild Wars too, but it also kind of made a big change to what's going on with stuff going on in Guild Wars 1, and that's all to do with the Dwarves. The Dwarves really are at the heart of this story, I would say. Anyway, so you can see there's a boss here, Lieutenant Magma. I didn't check the wiki to see how he's significant, but I think he's a reference to something. He says, "Say goodbye to your teeth." I've probably been missing crap loads of quotes, guys. Feel free to pause if you must. Oh, I might be about to go down. Oh, I'm down. Okay, so then you spam stand up. You can see your energy goes up, and then when it comes up, you've got like 10 seconds, otherwise you pass out, you see. And as long as it's max after the 10 seconds, boom, you're up again. The thing is, though, if you're not getting kills, they can overwhelm you. Obviously, a lot of people do this in hard mode, and it's obviously a lot more difficult. I'm kind of doing it on weak mode at the moment. Kilroy's dead, as you can see. He will stand back up. All NPCs stand back up in Eye of the North. He'll only stand up when everyone around him's dead, though. But, yeah. You'll see that a lot of these Stone Summit don't actually use brawling skills, which is quite cool. They just have default skill bars, and you're going up against them with your cool ones. Anyway, there we go. So we've got a bow, which in fact I'll equip here, which is kind of handy actually. Oh yeah, I've still got these Lunar Fortunes. I might end up just like giving them off as a prize in the end. Okay, Kilroy says, Kilroy Stonekin, you son of a yak slapper. I don't know how you made it this far, but I'm happy to be the one to bury you. Allow me to introduce you to my friends. Lefty, righty, give our friend Fronis a proper welcome. Right, okay, so I've kind of fucked that up, but you see I had adrenaline. What you're supposed to do is get a bow, and you can shoot the Etin, and you'll keep your adrenaline, which I did stupidly, but that's a nice little tip if you guys want. I always kill the Etin first. Fronis is, well, I say friend, but it's enslaved. But yeah, I always kill it. I don't know whether that's the best way to do it. It's a way to do it, certainly. It's just he hits so much, it's nice to get him dealt with. And then you take out Fronis himself. There we go, and he's out. So there you go. This was actually technically an Eye of the North dungeon. If I press M, you'll see we've got an icon here. The icons are all very different in this in Eye of the North. But this was our first dungeon complete. Whenever you complete a dungeon in Eye of the North, you get a reward chest. So let's click it. And we get a Dwarven Ale, which is pretty cool. So there we go. Our team was victorious. You can always resign out once that happens. It says quest fail, you got knocked out. That's not true. We did complete it. It's fine. A bit of a bug, a bit of a weird thing going on with that. So, yeah, these are the Punch-Out things. There is another thing that comes after it, which I will show you. I'm not going to go into it, though, because the episode looks like it's about done.
You need me.
Did you see the look on their faces when we crashed their party? Fists are flailing. I've not had a better time in years. Good fighting, Tom. I need to go ice down my fists now. I suggest you do the same. Okay, so you get this last quest, the master one, this solo one. I've got good news. Word of Fronis stomping got out. You've earned yourself quite a bit of respect. So much, in fact, that Bjorn Thunderfist, the brawling champion, has challenged you to a match. Will you face the brute in unarmed combat? And you actually end up fighting loads of different things there, like Corsairs come and all kinds of things. I'll get the quest, but I'm not going to show you it in this episode because, as I said, we're almost over. We've also got this Dwarven recruitment officer to speak to. Let's do that.
Hail, human.
So he says, "Hey there, Tom. I see you're a brave one. Talented too, I'd wager. If you show me your mettle, I might just put in a good word for you with my fellows. Do you have any journals or records of your great deeds? With that sort of written evidence, I can prove your worth to the other dwarves. Best of all, you'll earn yourself some hero skill points, which you can spend to teach your heroes new skills." Okay, let's actually get some written evidence. Okay, so we'll get... Actually, no, we'll get this book. There's lots of books you can get, okay? I'll get one when Tom goes to the Asura lands. I'll get this book for Matt, But yeah, we'll speak to him and do that. So yeah, it's just like, do you remember in Prophecies and Factions where I had the journal? You can do that again in Eye of the North. You could do it in Nightfall too, but I just felt like it wasn't adding much to the Let's Play back then, so I removed it for Nightfall. But I think it can add stuff back again in Eye of the North, particularly since the rewards are so good. But yeah, okay, so here's what we've got here. At the end, there's a non-storyteller who we'll be speaking to next episode, and a big arena, okay? And this man here, Magni the Bison, and he's going to challenge us to a tournament, a massive tournament. There's so much to talk about. I can't wait to show you guys, and we'll be seeing all of that next episode, I'd guess. So yeah, I will see you guys next time, and I guess that the next episode, the non-tournament could take a couple of episodes, and after that we'll be splitting up and progressing forward with the story. So, well, this is kind of progressing anyway. So yeah, I will see you guys next time. I hope you enjoyed the episode. I know we kind of spent it all around Gunnar's Hold, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed it anyway. Hope you learned some stuff, and I will see you next time. See you later, guys.